Welcome YouTube, welcome to Sin City Living. My name is Jason. As always, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. We have weekly content coming out. And what am I going to cover for today? Well, today I want to cover a strategy that one of my favorite players uses. It's an interesting strategy. Now, he does not play the strategy every single time. He is very familiar with the game, so he has 4 or 5 different strategies at his beck and call. He'll pull out whatever one he thinks is going to work. But this is one that he likes to start out with unless the table ends up being super cold. It's an interesting strategy. It's basically an iron cross variant. And it's an interesting variant. I've seen a couple variants that are similar to this one. So obviously he waits until there's a point. This player does not play the pass line unless they're shooting. So we're going to have the 9 as a point just so we can show the entire iron cross. Even if it was one of the iron cross numbers, he would still do the place bets. So he would include the point just so he can hit his place bets. So at a $10 table, he oftentimes starts with his 34. No, I'm sorry. Starts with 24. 10 right there. And he throws in $2 to hop the two-way 5s. I'm going to put it right here so it's within view of the cameras. This obviously is not where we would set it up, but this way he has the 5, the 6, the 8 covered, and of course the field covers everything else. And what happens? Well, if a 6 or an 8 rolls, he loses here. He loses his $10, but he makes his $14 profit. Okay. He also lost this $2, so he lost $12. So he made a $2 profit, which he then throws back in. Then throws in for his 5, two-way 5s. And he usually puts the other 12 in the field. So at this point he has made no profit. This was a break-even roll, except he didn't same bet. If he were to same bet, he would have broken even. And that's not necessarily a horrible thing. So let's explore this if he were to break even. No big deal. Some players that play a very similar strategy to this, that's kind of their goal. They'll break even on this. They don't care. They'll break even on these 3 numbers. They don't care. Because they're hoping for every other number. 2, 3, 4, 9, 10, 11, 12. They're hoping that their field wins. As the field wins, then they start manipulating their bets using the field. For instance, let's say he did same bet right here. Threw his hopper back in, put his $12 into the field, and a 4 rolls. Okay, so this is going to lose. He's going to get paid $12, and what this player is likely to do, he is likely to throw he'll throw his hopper back in. Then he's likely to say, press my 6-8. So once again, he's broken even. He's set his hoppers back up. He has it back down to a $10 field bet. So once again, for the second time in a row, he's broken even. He's made no profit off of this bet, off of his bets. But his bets have gotten a little bit bigger. Except for that hop and 5. The hop and 5 is still the same. So what happens if, say, a 6 rolls? Well, for 6 rolls, once again, these lose. It's going to get paid $21. And let's do it such a way that we can do the hoppers again. So it's going to get paid $21. So he's going to throw in his hop and 5s. He's going to throw in his field. And then he's probably going to say, yeah, you know what, press the 8. 1 unit. At this point, he's going to take a small profit back. And this is only if these iron cross numbers are rolling, the 5, the 6, the 8. As other numbers roll that are in the field and are not over here, he's going to take his field profit and he just tends to push it to the dealers and say, press this, press that, press this. Keeps his hopper up, throws in his couple of dollars, maybe throws in $1 so that he can take his field winnings and press one of these numbers. This is it's a fun strategy. It really is. We enjoy dealing to this because it's, one, consistent. We've got the hopper can get difficult if too many players start hopping stuff, but not too many players hop where I work at. So we've got the hopper, then we've got the place bets, and then we've got the field bet. But this player uses he continues to press. He starts pulling back money. If he hits a hot roll, his bets will get up there. But he's not static. The dealers, we want people to win. We love seeing people win, and we never see people win on static bets. Well, never is a little bit of an exaggeration. We do see people win on static bets. They just don't win all that much. The other day, we had a 40-minute roll. It's the only 40-minute roll we had the entire week on my shift. Actually, we didn't even have a 20-minute roll now that I think about it. So in 40 hours of work, I've only seen one 20-minute roll or better. But we had a 40-minute roll. And it was very, very frustrating for the dealer that was on one side of the table, because at the end of this 40-minute roll, $12, 6 and 8 were the biggest bets on the table, on his side of the layout. So 40-minute roll, everybody, of course, made money. The players on his side, because some of them were betting the field, some of them were betting place bets, some of them were betting just the pass line with odds, at least max odds, I hope. But nobody pressed. Nobody increased their bets at any given moment. So all of his players won a couple $100 on this 40-minute roll. All of those players gave it all back, because it was just a couple $100, so they just kept playing with it because it's just a couple $100. The other side of the table, I think the smallest bet was a couple of blacks. The smallest bet on any of the place bets. Basically, one side of the table had all the grinders, the other side of the table had all the pressers. It was a strange split. Usually it's a little bit on each side. But instead, this time around, one dealer was really working, the other dealer was just pretty much standing in place. But you want to press. You want to press. That side of the table, those players made thousands. As soon as the roll ended, they all colored up and left, because they bought in for a couple hundred and made thousands. The other side of the table, they all stayed and played and gave it all back, because they bought it for a couple hundred and made a couple hundred. They just figured they'd keep on going. So this player, we love this player because he does press. He presses. He increases his bets. He makes it fun. It doesn't take very long before he's in the greens over here. And we'll see him in the blacks. I would say a 10-minute roll, depending on what roll, is very likely that at least one of his bets is in the black, and gonna make well over $100 every single time it hits. That's also the point where he may start expanding. Once he hits to a comfortable point on the 6 and 8, oftentimes with the green, he may only just be at $30 8 and $30 6, which is the point that he will start expanding. He'll drift away from his hoppers, start using the field to set up his 5. And then he'll set up his 10, he'll set up his 4, he'll set up his 9. He does include the point. He'll use his field to start setting up all of it, to start expanding out, set up the rest of the numbers, and then start pressing those up as well. Right at the very beginning, he uses his field to press his iron cross numbers, or keep his hopper in the game and press his other 2 iron cross numbers. As these grow, then he starts using his field to expand out, place the other points while using these points, their own bet, to press themselves up. At that point, he'll stop using the field in here and let the bet themselves as an 8 rolls. He'll use that to press it up, and just use the field to continue to expand out his bets. It's an interesting strategy. It's a fun strategy. And that is an interesting variation of the iron cross. It's a lot of fun to deal to, and it is a lot of fun to play. This player is an absolute riot to play with. As always, thank you for watching, and please hit the like and subscribe button so we will catch you next time.